Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and it's time for some genuinely approachable Sudoku today. So I'm going to be having a go at 5 gas puzzles. Now I do want to mention our stream last night. Simon played Gorogoa, which turned out to be an absolutely fascinating game, perfectly timed for a 2-hour stream as it goes, and really beautiful. Like, do play the game yourself or watch the video perhaps just to get an idea of how fantastic how fantastically well it's put together. It's really impressive. So well done to Annapurna who released it. Now, what else have we got going on? So we're going to be putting up tomorrow my crossword solve, the Times monthly club special, ridiculously hard cryptic, which normally takes me a few looks in the dictionary to finish at the end. Absolutely mad words in it, so check that out if you're interested in the crossword content. Loads going on the channel. On Patreon, of course, we've got the May monthly hunt, we've got Quinlux's build your own Sudoku, lots coming up potentially on Patreon as well, where we have been sent 2 or 3 things that are going to prove very interesting, I believe, in due course for patrons, so do consider joining us there. Anyway, thank you to everybody who supports the channel in any way. We are very grateful to you all. But now I am going to go through the rules of the 5 puzzles today. Try and do 5 of these genuinely approachable Sudokus. They get published first in the Daily Sudoku channel on the Discord server if you want to try them there. They're created by Philip Newman, Sam Kappelman-Lyons and Clover, and these guys are brilliant at creating approachable Sudoku puzzles that are generally very good introduction to some of the variant rules. So let's have a look at these puzzles. The first one is Secure Perimeter by Philip. Digits along the indicated diagonals must sum to the total given, so those 3 have to add up to 14. It says digits may repeat if allowed by other rules, but a quick scan of this suggests that won't apply to any of these little killer clues, as they're called. So that's the first one. Normal Sudoku rules apply, as I'm sure they will in all of the puzzles. The next one's by Clover, Touchy Sudoku. So, every digit must be orthogonally adjacent to at least one other digit with a consecutive value. Now, don't be scared by the long words. Orthogonally adjacent just means a cell that shares an edge with another cell. So this 6 has to have either a 5 or 7 in one of those cells. For instance, every 1 must touch at least 1, 2, and every 4 must touch at least 1, 3, or 5. So that's got to be the case there as well. Interesting rule. You can kind of mislead yourself, I think, with that rule, but we'll see if I do that. The third one is Sam Kappelman-Lyons, only one from this group, Diagonal Sudoku. So each marked diagonal contains a set of the digits 1 to 9, because there are 9 cells in it. Then the vault. This is very similar. No, maybe not, but a similar sort of pattern to a previous one by Philip. Digits along a line must have, this is between lines rule, digits along a line must have values strictly between the values in the circles on the end of that line. All lines are straight, they don't turn at intersections, so that's not a line. I mean, this exemplifies it very well. You've got a 1 and a 3 there. The only thing that can go on the line in between circles of 1 and 3 is a 2, because that's the only number between 1 and 3. So that's how the rule works. In some such puzzles you can have repeat digits on the lines, but they're all straight here, so you can't. Okay, then we get David and Goliath by Clover. In this, the extra rule is that each cage must contain 1 small digit and 1 large digit. The small digit can be 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, and the large digit can be 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. So that's an overlap between 5s. For instance, valid cages could include 2, 5, 4, 9 or 5, 8. Cages like 2, 3 or 7, 9 are not allowed. Okay, well, a fascinating pair of rules from Clover in this that I'm not used to. So we'll see how we go. I'm going to try and remember to restart my clock every time so I know my time. There is a tradition on the Discord server that there are times designated for the puzzles. You get a dinosaur if you finish the puzzle, but if you're quicker, within the 1 hat time you get 1 party hat, and there is a 2 party hat time that I am always aiming for a really quick solve. So let's get cracking. Okay, so I can fill in a 9 in the central box. Now 5 there has to be 1 and 4 because it can't involve a 3, and 1 5 there because we can't involve a 2 on the 6. Again here 2 3 and 5 1 there. So those feel useful, but then these other totals are not. 14 here. Does that have to be 3 4 7? I think it does in that case, once 1 2 and 5 are ruled out. Then we've got 6 8 9 in the other cells. I'm not sure this is the right way to attack this, but we're there now. That's got to be 4 5 6. That one can't be 5, that one can't be 4. Then we've got 7 8 9 in the other cells. I hope I'm going to see some pattern emerging. This 15, it can't have both 2 and 3. I doubt that's determinable. What about this? 2 5 6 would be 13, so that must be 2 5 7. And we've got 6 8 9 in the other cells. Right, so now I see an 8 9 pair. I don't know what good that does. I've not gone about this in the right way, have I? Good grief. Can I work this one out? 6 1 5 4. If it had a 2 in it, there's another 13, which would make it 2 6 7. If it had a 3 in it, there's another 12. That's not possible. So it is 2 6 7. This is a naked 9. There we go. Wow, that took some finding. Last possible thing, but maybe that will help. It gets a few digits in, that's for sure. Those can't be 7s, those can't be 9s. Are we going to get some other naked digit? I don't know. I doubt it. 9 6 8 2 3. That can't be a 2. That can't be a 7. 7 8 9. No, hang on. 2 3 4 6 1 5. No, I don't know quite. Is this resolvable? Where am I meant to be looking here? 4 5 or 7 there by just Sudoku eliminating the other possibilities. 1 3 4 or 7 here. I just feel there's one clue short of this being doable. 1 or 6 there. 7 1 5 2 9 4. No, that's not very good. That's 4 or 8. This is just pencil marking the whole grid. That 5's looking at that. That's been available the whole time. Bother. Why can't I see things like that? Why? Right, now that 5's looking there. So we get a 7 there. That can't be a 7, so we know where 7 is on that diagonal. That's going to give us a 7 here, which doesn't really get much done. Now, what am I not noting? The 4 is looking at that 3. Right, that's good. That can't be a 3 now. That's become a 2. That 2 looks across at this. Now I can do the 2 and the 7. It's very cleverly put together, this. It really is. 5 6 is looking at that. So that diagonal's done. It's all falling into place in a very symmetrical way. That's a 4 6 8 triple. So 1 in the box is here. That makes this a 6, so the pencil marking turned out useful in the end. We get a 3 here. That's going to finish box 7. That's going to not quite finish box 1, but it's going to finish box 3 and box 9. This is now a 5, so even there the pencil marking was useful. And now I think we are finishing off got a 4 and a 3 there. Let's just do this one first. 5, 7, 9. Yeah, so 5 at the bottom, 7, 9. Now let's look along the rows. 7, 6, 3. Here we do 4, 2, 9, or 1, 2 pair. That's finally telling me how to do the 2, 3. 2 and 9, don't know. That's a 3. Let's look here. 4 and 9, 8 and 5, 2 and 1, and 2 and 9. There we go. 5 minutes 20 seconds. That's probably enough for 2 hats, but I was struggling at the start just because I didn't see the 5 interacting with that 1, 5 pair. Poor scanning. Stormtrooper scanning, as they say. Right, let's try Touchy Sudoku by Clover. Now, this is interesting. So, every digit must touch one consecutive digit. Okay, let's go. So, how? Okay, we've got a 7 in one of those cells. I'm not using the rule at first. I'm just trying to get something, some pencil marking done. 9, 8 is, that is a 7, 8 pair, so that's a 9 just by Sudoku. Let's take out the pencil marks now. There we go. So 6 and 5 here. I don't know the order. But this has to touch a consecutive digit. So we do. That's a 5. 6 there. Okay, so we get a 2, 9 pair up here. They can be written in. 4, 6 pair down here. What about in the rows? 8, 1, 3, 6. No, I'm not going to use that yet. I want to use this rule as little as I can, frankly, because it's difficult to apply and to be sure you're using it in a manner that is exclusive. 9 in row 4 has to be there. Then we get 2, 3 and 4. You see, you can't say that has to be 4 touching 5 because it could easily be touching the digit next door, and frankly I find this a bit difficult. Right. This is 1, 3 or 6. Now that, you see, again, that just doesn't really help. 5 in this row has to be there. That's 2 or 4. So's that. 1 in the row is placed, so this isn't a 1. 1, 8, 7, 9, 5. That is 3 or 6. So that's a pair. So that's 2 or 4. There's definitely a 2, 3, 4 triple. So 1 and 8 in the other cells. Now, no, that doesn't decide what this one is. I think this can't, no, I was going to say this can't be an 8, and that's absolute tripe as well. I don't like this rule. I find it very confusing. This is 3 or 7 by Sudoku. There's a 1 there. That is kind of the only place it can be in the box. So it's got to be touching a 2. Can I use that? Not really. Yeah, 1s always have to touch 2s. Maybe that is the way to look at this. Or 9s having to touch 8s. So that 9 has to touch an 8. Yes, that is an important way of looking at it. 9s and 1s, because that 9 has to touch an 8. Because they only have one digit that they can touch. This 9 has to touch an 8. That's now in one of these two cells, so that's fixed the 7, 8 pair in the middle. Oh, it's strange, isn't it? So there's a 9 in one of those, but there's an 8 still to come somewhere here, so I don't think that tells me how to place it. There's a 9 in one of those, but it's got to touch an 8, so it's there. That gives me that 9, that gives me that 9. Now this 9 has to touch an 8, which is going to have to be there. That fixes this 8. I do find this confusing still. I think that was a useful approach. Now let's have a think about 1s. The 1 here, there is a 1 here, so there's a 1 here. So this has to touch a 2. Now that's got to be here. This one has to touch a 2, and I don't know where that is. But I do, because I've got a sort of X-wing on 2s. It can't be there. The only 2 in column 7 is there. And this one now has to, we know where its 2 is. Okay, so this one has to touch a 2. That now has to be here. Right. That was definitely the right approach, and I'm annoyed that I didn't think of that more clearly sooner. So then we get a 3-7 pair here. There might be a way of using the rule to fix them, but there's more likely to be a quick Sudoku way towards the end. We get 3-6 pair here. I could do 7 and 4. This is a 3. Yeah, there's the Sudoku way. That's a 3. We need a 4-7 pair, but this has become a 7 by Sudoku. 4 and 7. We get a 6 here. 3 and 6 there. That fixes 3 and 6 down here. Then we get a 3-4 pair still to be resolved. 5 and 7. 3, 4, 5 in the middle. So that's got to be 5. Ah, so there's one deadly pattern left, and the rule says that 2, no, 3 and 4 will touch each other. So there's some number that needs, look, that 5 needs to touch a 4 there because it's not touching anything consecutive. Wow, that is a tough application of the rule. 5 minutes 11 seconds. I don't think that's a bad time at all. I think that's quite hard to work your way through, but I was a bit slow with the insight of using 9s and 1s. Really interesting puzzle. That was fun. Right, we move on to a diagonal Sudoku, and I restart the clock. Here we go. So 3, 1, 7, 4. There's a 2 in one of those cells. No, let's use the diagonal. 1, 2, 3 are off it there, off it there. They must be on it in the middle. We don't know the order. That's not 2, that's not 3, that's not a 1. Look, he's done the same in these boxes. 2, 9, 8 have to be in the middle box on that diagonal, so they can be written in, and all of those are fixed. So that's quite a good start. Now that's a 4-5 pair. We can write in 6 and 7. We get a 2 in column 6, and we finish it off with a 5-8. 1 there. 3, 7. This is coming fast now. I must say, I'm so much more often on the same wavelength as Sam than I am with Clover to some extent, and Philip to a greater one. Now, what next? What next? 1, 2, 9, 7, 8. Interesting. I don't know what is next. There's a 9 in one of those. Let's just 1 goes there. That's going to give me a 1 somewhere here. Now 1 therefore has to be on this diagonal. That's the only place it can be. That is useful. So that's all the 1s done suddenly, I think. That's become a 2 in the column. That's making that a 2, and that's all the 2s done. It's not one of those puzzles where you're meant to work through them in order. Now there is a 3 in one of those 2 cells. I'm looking at 3s. Yes, that's a 3, so that fixes, thanks to the diagonal, where the 3 was there. Then we get a 3 there and a 3 there, and that's an X-wing that I can't resolve. Okay, 1, 9, 3, 2, 8. So we've got a 5 in one of those, and oh, that's a 4, 7 pair. So this is a 5, 6 pair, in fact. Now I can fill in 8 and 9 if I'm in the right mode. That's a 6, 4, 5, 7 here. Don't know the order. But lots of this diagonal is getting done. Now, actually, maybe this, that is a 4 or 5 just by Sudoku. What's this? 2, 8, 9, 1, 3, 5. Oh, 4, 6 or 7. Okay, that wasn't what to do next. 5 must be in one of those 2 cells in the row. That's forming an X-wing with those. Not helpful. Right, that's 4, 5, 4 or 5. It can't be 6 because of that. But we've got a 5 in one of those 2 cells that we just worked out. So that's very helpful. That 4 fixes 7, 4 on this diagonal. That now has to be... that's the only place for 4 on the diagonal. That's a 6. So going back to the other diagonal, this is now a 7, 5 and 9, finish it off. So that's the diagonals all done. Then we've got a 6, 7 pair in the column. 4 and 5 can be filled in there. 4, 6, 1. So 3, 8, 7 here. That's a 7. This 2's a 3, 8 pair. That's a 6 for the column. That fixes column 1. That's a 9 because it sees a 3, 8 pair in the box. 9, 8, 5. So let's use it in the column. Yes, we know where 7 goes. 4 and 6 fixes 4 and 5. That's a naked 8. So 5, 6 at the top of the grid and 8 beside it. 3, 7, 9 here. Must be able to do them now. And then back over to the 8 and 3. 4 minutes and 8 seconds. So that is a quite good time. That really was a nice introduction to diagonal Sudoku. And the general observation when you're doing a diagonal, if you can find a number off the diagonal, the same diagonal in 2 boxes, it must be on the diagonal in the third. That is a useful tip. Right, now the vault by Philip. I don't really know what his titles of Secure Perimeter and the Vault mean this time. Maybe it's just the look of the puzzle. But anyway, we will restart the clock, have a go at this between lines puzzle. Let's get cracking. So that has to be less than 4, 1 or 2. This is more than 6, 8 or 9. Ah, that's a 6, 7, 8 triple. So is that. Look, these Fistemafel cell square ring, Fistemafel ring cells are useful. 2, 3, 4 there. So one of those is a 2 by Sudoku. That's quite helpful because that means we're going to need a 1 in the circle. What else does that teach us? That was useful. So 6 there, 6, no, 8. No, 8 can be in the circle. I was trying to replicate that and I'm not having much luck. Right, no, I was going to say 3, no, 2 there, but 2 can go in the circle. 8 there, 8 there. That's how we replicate it. We get 8 on the line and that must be a 9. Now I'm thinking it's not going to be all that helpful. Right, this has to go up from 3 and that can't be as high as 9. It's not very useful. 4 in one of those cells. 4 in one of those. That can't be a 4 because that can't be 5 or 6. So we know where 4 goes. This has to be lower than 4. That is 2 or 3 now. That's placed 4 in this triple. There's going to be a 6 up there. I don't know why I'm marking that. And a 6 there. Now, can that be 6? No, that can't be 4 or 5. So that's the same deal over this side. 6 goes in there. That fixes the 6 in the triple. 9 must be in one of those cells, never on a between line. Ah, that's a useful tip. 9 can never be on a between line. So 1 can't here. So we can put 1 in there and there. Yes, it's 9s and 1s again, as if I didn't learn from the last puzzle. 9 must go there. Now 9 can't be on a between line in this box, so we know where it goes instantly. 9 must be there, so it's not on the line. Now there's an 8 on the line. That's actually not so helpful anymore. Ah, it is if that's a 7, 8 pair. 5, 7, 8, 6, 9. So we've got 2 there. This is a 1, 3 pair, but 1 can't be on the line. Right. 2, 4. 5, 7, 8. So 8's the extreme digit, must be in the circle. This is a 5, 7 pair. Oh, we know which way round they go thanks to the 6 in the circle. 4 and 8 here. Ah, actually that has to be the 8 because of the 2, 3, 4 triple. That is a 7. This is a 6. That places 8. That's a 3 by Sudoku. This is going to have to be the lowest possible. 1 there, 2 and 7. That is going to have to be the highest. 9, we get a 5, 8 pair. 7 and a 1, 6 pair. Central box is not being very helpful. That's going to have to be as low as it can be to let the others on the line. 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. So we've got a 1, 4 pair here, and 1 can never be on the line. 2, 6 here. 1 in the bottom row is going to have to be in the circle. That's going to fix 6, 7, 8. That fixes 5 and 8 at the top. Now we get a 5 here. That's 2 naked, 6, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 9. We know 9 is there. Yeah, we can do 4 and 3 as well. Now we can do this triple. 2 and 8 in the central column, must be like that. 3 and 7 in this row. Just one box left to do. Lots in it, but all fairly straight. It's straightforward if I could type 3 there. 4 minutes 38. That's a pretty good time for that puzzle. Yeah, I seem to see some very relevant things quite early, but I should have still remembered earlier still that 1 and 9 have to avoid going on lines in this format because you can't put higher or lower numbers in the circle. Okay, now this David and Goliath, one small and one big number, but quite loose definitions of what small and big are. Interesting. Okay, let's go. So that's an 8 by Sudoku. So this has to be lower, 3 or 5 basically from that set. That's a 9 by Sudoku. That's interesting. Yeah, so maybe find some Sudoku digits. That's a 2, so this is high. 5, 6, or 7. 3, not in a cage. 2 in one of those 2. Yeah, you do kind of sense that when you've got a lot of this filled in, the rule will be very helpful, but until then, not so much. There's got to be one high digit in here. It doesn't have to be 9 though, it could be 5. Oh, okay, look at this column. It needs a 4 and a 5 in those two. So these are both high digits. In fact, that must be a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 8 or 9. Yeah, that's interesting. So now this is low. All I know is it's not a 3. There's got to be a 5 in this one. Wow, okay, that's interesting. So that fixes 2. That fixes 2 here. This is a 1, 4 pair. We do know the order. So we've got a 1 here. This is a high digit, but it could be almost anything. But this is going to need a low digit, which is now going to have to be a 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a naked 9. That can't be 8, and that can't be 6. Let's just fill in the possibilities so I know what I'm doing. Okay, so there's a 2 in that box. 2 there. This is an interesting one, isn't it? Right, there's got to be a 5 in this one as well, along with a low digit. 1, 3, and 4. That's a naked 4. That's a 1. That's a 3. Yes, I have resolved that now. That's a 3. Okay, now what does this need? This needs a 5 as well. Wow, that's really the theme of this puzzle. So in this column we've got 9, 8, 7 to go, and that must be the 7. That's 9. That's 8. That's not giving me an 8 here. No, that's become a 6 by Sudoku. We get a 1 there, 3 and a 4. We've got a 7, 6 pair here. 9, 2, and that's a 9. What else do we need in this box? 1, 7, 6. That has to be a 6. This can't be a 7 by the rule. So 1 in this row, and then 5 and 7. 3, 6 pair at the top. This must be easy. It's 5, 7, 8 up here. I do not know how that's going either. 3, 6, 8, 7, 2. Not finished at all. 9 and 1 in this box. Ah, now I can do 4 and 5. That must be a 7. Now that finally fixes the column. Don't know about the bottom 2 cells there. That's a 7, so that's placed 8. Thank you, pencil marks. Oh, interesting. 3 and 6 are a deadly pattern here, but that can't be a 3 by the rule. 4 and 1 here, and 4 and 5, and that does it. Oh, just a second under 4 minutes. I'm pretty confident that I've got all 5 2-hat times there, but not absolutely certain. But they were some really interesting puzzles. That's a really good set. I mean, these guys are just getting better and better in some ways. That's excellent stuff. I hope you had a go at those, and I hope you enjoyed them when you did. They're really interesting puzzles. I hope the rules were understandable. I think they should be, and definitely always entertaining to keep up with the genuinely approachable Sudokus, especially with the Grand Prix, which has some of those in it every month, and towards the end of the year, the next World Sudoku Championship. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Lovely to see you, and I hope to see you again on the channel soon. Bye for now.